right, and the next problem, this is a sum and difference problem. And they give us very specific information about two different angles, alpha and beta. They tell me that tangent of alpha is 12 over 5, and alpha is between pi and 3 pi over 2. So the first thing I'll probably want to do is figure out what quadrant alpha is in. So pi is here, 3 pi over 2 is here, which means alpha must be in the third quadrant where everybody is negative, okay? So even though I know that tangent is y over x, I know that x's and y's are both negative, so that lets me know that x is equal to negative 5 and y is equal to negative 12. And since this must be a 5, 12, 13 Pythagorean triple, I know r will be positive 13. This is all to do with my alpha, okay? Different angle than other things. So I have cosine of alpha and sine of alpha. So they asked me what is cosine of alpha. Well, I know cosine is x over r, so it'll be negative 5 over 13. They asked me what is the sine of alpha. Well, sine is y over r, so that's negative 12 over 13. All right, now let's move over to beta. They told me the cosine of beta is negative 3 over 5, and I know that cosine is x over r. Remember, this is a different angle than alpha, so it's kind of a little different story. It says that beta is between pi over 2 and pi. Pi over 2 is at the top, pi is right here, so this means I'm over here in the second quadrant where x's are negative and y's are positive. So I already know that x is equal to negative 3. I know r is equal to 5. I know y will be positive because they just told me it was in the second quadrant, so I know y would be positive 4 because it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Okay, so when they ask me what is the cosine of beta here, I know that cosine is, so I'm only thinking of the things to do with beta here, so it's going to be x over r, so negative 3 over 5. Actually, if you'll notice, that was information they gave me, and then they asked me the same question. Hint to self, might happen on your test that way too. Sine of beta is y over r, so it will be 4 over 5. Okay, so now I know this information. They asked me, what is the cosine of alpha plus beta? So my formula for cosine goes cosine, cosine, sine, sine. So it'll be cosine alpha, cosine beta. And remember, cosine, the sine's opposite, so it's minus sine alpha, sine beta. So I already put everything I need up here. I kind of asked a precursor question. So cosine of alpha is negative 5 over 13 times cosine of beta, which is negative 3 over 5, minus, these are multiplied together by the way, minus sine of alpha, which is negative 12 over 13, times sine of beta, which is positive 4 over 5. All right, so probably first I'm going to have to figure out what is 13 times 5. Not going to use a calculator, but since I passed the third grade, I could do this. 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1, 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So that'll be 65. So negative 5 times negative 3 is positive 15 over 65. And then notice if I count up my signs here, I have negative, negative, and a positive, so this is going to actually be positive. 12 times 4 is 48 over 13 times 5, which is 65. So then I just have to add 15 and 48. Since I did pass second grade, I can add these together. 8 plus 5 is 13, carry the 1, so I get 63. So my answer will be 63 over 65. That would be my answer to the cosine of alpha plus beta. Then they asked me what is the sine of alpha plus beta. So I have to write the formula down. So it goes sine of alpha, cosine of beta, plus cosine of alpha, sine of beta. All right, and then I just use what my information that I already have up here. So sine of alpha is negative 12 over 13. Cosine of beta is negative 3 over 5. Plus cosine of alpha is negative 5 over 13. And sine of beta is 4 over 5. So when I do this, negative 12 times negative 3 is 36. And 13 times 5 is 65. And positive times negative will make this negative. 5 times 4 is 20. 13 times 5 is 65. And so 36 minus 20 will give me 16 over 65. And there we have it. We solved our problem.